Tyson, very interesting. Early this morning, Deontay Wilder tweeted this. Hey, Tyson, don't worry about me. I'm fine, blessed. The only thing I want from you is for you to honour your agreement and fight me. I gave you 2 shots when I didn't have to, and it changed your life. Now it's time for you to be a man and give me a shot as you agreed. Tyson, does that surprise you? He's tweeted that. Has he got a problem?
You know, after seeing all his excuses lately, and he's still holding on to the feelings of these malice feelings, and he's still of the opinion of, like, people have cheated him, his trainers cheated him. I've had weights in me gloves, his costume was too heavy, he had a bicep injury. I've run out of ideas of what other excuses a man could make in a defeat in boxing. And to keep coming out with these ludicrous accusations, you know, I was quite concerned, I still am, for his mental well-being, you know. First of all, he doesn't speak or say anything for 8 months on Instagram or anywhere. And all of a sudden he's coming out of all this stuff like, oh, he's cheated, he's done this, he's done that. I don't know who's advising him or who's around him, but he really needs to, in my opinion, he needs to seek a bit of help himself, because to keep going on like he's going on is unsportsmanlike, and it's a sure sign of mental health problems. Look, nobody wants to get beaten, especially after a 12-year unbeaten streak. But there has to be a point, a certain amount of time, where you let a defeat go. You know, at the end of the day in sports, teams lose, boxers lose. Everyone's going to lose a fight now and again.
Yeah.
And it's a sporting contest. And if it can't be a sporting contest, if it's more than a sporting contest here, and you're going to take it to your grave with you, all these hatred and bad feelings, then I don't think you should be doing it. But, you know, Wilder's now, after I come out yesterday and said, look, I'm concerned for his mental well-being, I'm only a call away. Maybe he saw that and he's put that tweet out.
I was going to say to you, Tyson, you spoke about that. Some of his comments haven't been ideal when he lost the fight to you. At the same time, the flip side of the coin, I'm reading you've got a lot of respect for Joshua, obviously as a fighter and as a man, but the way he handled his defeat to Ruiz was class, wasn't it?
Very class. You know, listen, we're rivals. We have been for a long time, but I've got to speak truthfully and honestly. You're a world heavyweight champion, you take a loss. You know, he handled it like a man. He handled it very sportsmanlike. He took it within his stride, and he knew he'd made a mistake, and that was it. He didn't say why, he didn't make a million excuses. There was no excuses. I didn't hear any excuses from him himself at all, none.
Yeah.
He just said, well done, congratulations, I'll see you next time. And, you know, I would hope that I could conduct myself like that as well, if that happened to me. And, well, you know, we've seen it so many times over the years with the likes of, like, Wilder's excuses and David Hayes' excuses. And everybody who loses a fight, for whatever reason, they always come out and say something like, oh, I had a bad foot, or I had a bad elbow, or had a shoulder operation or something. And I just think, you know what, well, if you was going into a big fight with these injuries, either don't take the fight, have it postponed until you get well again, or if you are going to go in and take it, don't mention it afterwards. Don't try and take somebody else's glory away from their victory. And, you know, and I got to take my hat off to AJ. He didn't. He just said, look, I got beat by the better man on the night. Fair play. Congratulations.
And everyone's obviously obsessing. Everyone's obsessed with that fight, though, and obviously that's the fight we want to see. You're going to knock him out. You won't respect him when you walk in the ring next year against him, probably, will you?
You know, you have to respect every man that gets in between the boxing ropes and boxes me as an opponent or whatever they are. Then I have to respect them utmost. Sometimes it might not seem that I do because of the way I act and the way it's just so relaxed for me, and it's not like, it's just like, oh, I can beat that person, I can beat that person. But, you know, I respect everybody that gets in the boxing ring because I know they're all dangerous. All heavyweights are very, very dangerous. But when we get in there, whenever it may be, we've both got to get through our upcoming fights. And we know heavyweight boxing is not a given. Anything can happen at this level as well, especially when you're fighting young and hungry fighters who are having our opportunity to become a world champion. You got to fight out your skin. And these guys, like the opponents that Pulev and that, he's been waiting for a world title shot for the last 5 years since he lost to Vladimir. So it's going to be a tough fight for him. He's going to fight out of his skin. He knows it's his big opportunity. And as a challenger, they don't come along that often, and you've got to seize the moment. So every time you step into the ring with these opponents, you've got to be on your double A game, because I know they're going to be 10 times better than they were for the last fight, because it's a big shot at glory. So providing we both come through our next fights, then I would like to think that this fight, me and Joshua, will finally get made years later, when we're both on top of our careers, both world heavyweight champions. And I'd like to think it can happen. It can happen twice next year, hopefully. But we'll see what happens.
Well, Tyson, obviously this Kabayel unbeaten. That's the next one. Then everyone talks about AJ. Where does Usyk come into this? Is he still way off Tyson in your mind?
Usyk, he's a good boxer. We saw him box the other night against Chisora. But, he's not what he was at cruiserweight, at heavyweight. I think the gap is just too big. From being a man 14 stone to being a man 15 and a half, whatever he is now, that extra stone and a half has really made a big difference on him, because Del Boy's a good friend of mine. We've become very close and we speak to each other all the time. But Del's at the end of his career at 38-year-old. He's had a lot of hard fights. And if this Usyk guy was going to be the next best thing since sliced bread, he shouldn't be having a 50-50 fight with Derek Chisora, even at this late stage of his fighting. To be honest with you, I thought that Chisora did enough to get a draw, and that's just me scoring the fight one round by one round. And I thought Chisora bossed and bullied the fight, but some people had Usyk nicking it by a round or two. I believe that Usyk's manager and his advisor had it a draw. A lot of people had it close, and if you're going to be the next thing, best thing since Muhammad Ali, how do you get a draw with Derek Chisora at the end of Derek's career?
Tyson, always a pleasure. I wish we'd another half an hour or so, but there'll be hopefully future time building up to the big fight with Kabayel. I'm going to read the book, fantastic, The Furious Method, out today. Tyson, great to hear you in great shape again, mentally sharp as a pin, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Very much, guys, and thanks for everyone for listening, and I'll see you all soon. Take it easy. God bless.
Brilliant.